Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Focus SG podcast with myself, Faiz, Mr. JB, and we have a special guest, first time coming into our podcast. As you can see from the picture, that's him on the left. His name is Hakim. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
So maybe you can share us a little bit more about yourself. Basically, when do you start watching football? Who do you support? Who's your favorite player, and etc. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I started watching football maybe in the when I was in Sec 2, Sec 3, 14, 15 years old.
14, 15, all right.
What team do I support? I support Chelsea, mainly because I like the color blue, to be honest. And Fernando Torres was my favorite player, but back then he joined Chelsea back. So yeah.
Ah, okay. But do you support any team like internationally wise or?
No, just the jersey.
Just Chelsea in general.
No, I think just the jersey for international.
Oh, just a jersey for international. Okay. All right. Mr. JV, you have any questions that you would like to ask our special guest before we start on with our program? How you been doing right now, Mr. JP?
Yeah, all good, all good. Hectic football news the past few weeks. A lot of drama, of course.
Yep.
And yeah, and I believe with regards to our guest Hakim's team that he supported, I think they've been doing quite a number of shopping lately. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
A lot of shopping defensively, and also one particular striker that strikes to my heart. So, yeah. So for today, we're actually going to do a little bit of prediction game, a little bit, because it's an annual thing. Whenever there's a new season, we always have full of hopes and ambition to see our team strive, especially like for myself supporting Arsenal, Mr. JB with Man United, and Hakim here with Chelsea. We want to see where or how would you guys rank our own team individually, and how would you guys rank other teams all around the Premier League, and yeah, just have a good time in prediction. And again, for those who are watching in YouTube or listening by Spotify, well, we have our usual guest, which is Harun Nazri, but he's currently very busy at the moment with his coaching career, so we wish him all the best for that. And hopefully, he can do bits, and maybe he can give us more insight into his coaching career more and can share with us here more. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So firstly, Hakim, gonna go to you first. For you're a Chelsea fan, and as of recording now, we're I believe 4 to 5 games coming into the Premier League. Satisfied with Chelsea so far?
Chelsea, I'll be honest, it's just very inconsistent.
I mean, yeah, especially the most recent, they lost 2-1 to Southampton, right?
Southampton is a known underdog, to be honest.
It is. This is a very dodgy team, but what did you make of it? What do you think is the reason that is very inconsistent? Is it the defense, or is it like the signings not there, the strikers?
They are lacking in a proper striker. A proper striker. I mean, the last good striker they had was Drogba.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea have a striker curse, right? You guys have like Timo Werner's, Lukaku, all those players that come and left, like Morata and all. It's not working. So as of recording now, we have seen and heard the news. Aubameyang joins Chelsea. What did you make of it then?
Just like Giroud, he's gonna score a scorpion kick.
Ooh. No, I don't think he's gonna score a scorpion kick, really. Like, Mr. JB, what do you think? What do you think about Chelsea's case so far this season? Like, feel free to jump in and share.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised that to see Chelsea in the current state that they are, because I think as of late, I mean, people always talk about United having bad sales and bad transfers, but I think Chelsea, on the other hand, I think is pretty close to that situation right now. I mean, they bought Lukaku for like what, a record signing 90 plus or 100 million, like some crazy numbers, and then
Lasted
now they
for
just let
season
him.
only. Yeah.
Yep, lasted a season, and then he's back on loan to Inter Milan, scoring again. Yeah, and then letting go of Werner, and Werner scoring again. So
But would you really feel the same like Hakim as well? He said that striker is the main issue for Chelsea. Is that really what they
yeah,
look?
yeah. I mean, I believe so. And then after that, they go ahead and buy Raheem Sterling, which is again
Yeah,
questionable
it's
signing.
like a winger. Yeah.
Yeah, questionable signing. And then the latest one, like you mentioned, Aubameyang, another surprise signing, I would say. Seems pretty desperate also because the deal is last minute, and then they had to get rid of Alonso plus pay cash.
Oh yeah. Marcos Alonso went to Barcelona.
Yeah. So it's almost like a swap deal, but Chelsea still have to fork out money for Aubameyang, and I think
Yeah, definitely because
uh,
Barcelona need the money.
and Barcelona, I think when they sign Aubameyang, it's on a free transfer. So yeah, I mean it's really hectic. I mean, I don't know how do you feel as an Arsenal fan? Uh, you know, hearing the news that Aubameyang goes back to London, but not quite North London, but to
Okay.
Chelsea.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
Here's my take. Okay. Here's my take about Aubameyang. Okay. Of course, at one side, I feel sad, devastated a little bit. Why? Because he's kind of like, uh, when's the last time that we have a prolific striker before? Well, okay, now we have Gabriel Jesus, who's doing very well. I'm not gonna count him out for that. But before him is who? We have Aubameyang, we have Giroud. Sanchez is not really striker, but he's a winger, I guess. But still, yeah, prolific. But among all of those names, Aubameyang kind of stood out. Like for Arsenal, on his prime, he stood out. And we can agree London was his home. And ever since he moved to Barcelona, his house got robbed 2 to 3 times. He suffered a broken jaw while in Spain in a year. Of course, his family would just want to be like, yeah, I want to go back to London. London is where they are comfortable with, makes more sense. But of course, not any kind of London. He can't join Spurs because he agreed to never join Spurs. Don't think you want to join Fulham, West Ham, or not, or any other places. So Chelsea seems the most reasonable due to Thomas Tuchel over there. But as much as I feel sad, I feel like it's the right move for him. He's one of those players that I believe Chelsea really need. And I believe that he's never really gonna play in like each and every time. I feel like he's gonna be a plan B over there. I still feel like they're gonna put Sterling up front. They still have wingers like Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic. You cannot waste these talents just by putting Aubameyang in front. I have the feeling Aubameyang is gonna be a plan B. That's my take. So yeah, but moving on of Aubameyang and Chelsea and all, let's move on to Mr. JB. Continue with you. How do you feel about Man United's rocky start to the season as well?
Well, for United, yep, another roller coaster of a season. Again, people, I mean, not say people, me myself is surprised and shocked, especially the first 2 games. But
Yeah. I mean, the first 2 games
you know,
was not acceptable at all.
yeah, but I do feel, I mean, I'm not one who believe in conspiracy theory, but I do like to look at some theories that people are talking about. That is quite interesting. Some of them was actually saying that it's actually Ten Hag actually did it on purpose. First 2 games, firstly
Did it on purpose?
to
Like what do you mean? Did it?
yeah. I mean, apparently, what I meant did it on purpose is his selection of players.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, despite knowing that you know some players actually don't deserve to be starting, but he still chose almost identical as the previous manager selection as Wenger. And I believe he did that on a purpose, and that is, I think, firstly he wants to see for himself how bad is the situation, like what is the weakness and how he can
yeah.
improve. And also another thing is, at the same time, I think to also hopefully kind of push to get some transfers, hopefully, which is
Yeah.
why I think after the 2 games, then you can see that United suddenly is quite active in the transfer business and then start to
Yeah, I mean, especially
find the right players.
when you guys sign players like Anthony as well from Ajax to join, I think that's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be one very interesting signing to watch for sure.
Yes,
But
yes, for sure.
but
For
it's a
sure.
bit, but it's a little bit of worrying because when you guys signed Jadon Sancho, he was doing very well at Dortmund, and let's be honest, ever since then, he's not really hitting that kind of form. But
Well, I think to be fair, you gotta give Sancho a bit of time because
yeah,
I think he's played under three different managers as of right now.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
Ole signed him, and then he played under Ole a while, and then Rangnick, and then now Ten Hag.
yeah,
And surprisingly, he's been scoring under Ten Hag, so that's a good thing.
yeah, definitely.
Uh, so
So
yeah,
you
so
don't
I
feel like
so I believe to
Maguire's
give
the
him
issue?
time. But that is quite controversial. But sadly, I mean the result shows. I mean when he doesn't start or plays, United miraculously keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, you
So it
guys
doesn't
had
look so good.
back-to-back clean sheets, and you guys win Liverpool when everyone thought that you guys gonna lose.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
surprising.
I mean, I mean, it's quite surprising why people think we would lose against Liverpool. Like, really, why would we lose to Liverpool?
Um, it's more of because of the way you guys lose to Brentford. It's probably the worst performance we have ever seen in Man United. Let's agree on that.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I can agree on that. But as usual, English media being biased at
True,
at some point. I mean, Liverpool draw the first two games,
yeah, yeah.
and
They come off in a
yeah,
rocky start as well. They draw first two, they lost to Man United,
exactly,
but they
exactly.
immediately smashed Bournemouth till the point that Scott Parker got sacked. And
That one.
and they scrape a 2-1 win over the Newcastle. So they're not really having a good start as well. But
No, definitely not.
yeah, so Hakim, just want to ask, in your
Yeah.
perspective, like
Yeah.
um Man United, we're talking about Man United at the moment because Mr. JB supports it, right? So what do you think as a rival fan? You see Man United with new managers, having new players, still get to keep Ronaldo, still get to keep strong players there. Sure, they may lose Pogba and stuff, but those players are considered, well, somewhat of a deadwood to the club now. What did you make of Man United?
I don't know. I feel United, other than the Ferguson era, definitely the highest point they have hit to me, I feel is under Mourinho. When
Ooh.
they finished second place, and I believe they won Europa.
Yeah, he was on that season. They won Europa, they got second. Is when Mourinho said is the best achievement he's
Uh,
done in his career. Not even the Chelsea or Porto or
to be
anything.
fair,
I have no idea.
with that United team, you gotta give credit. No other manager has gotten gotten the same result that he has
It is.
with the players that he had at the time.
True. But as a Chelsea fan, were you worried? Because to be honest, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool all have a bit of a shaky start. But after seeing the transfer window, are you more confident in your team, or do you feel like, oh, Man United is still could be on top of Chelsea this season?
It's tough call
Mm.
because both United and Chelsea are very unpredictable. 1 week they can be on very good form, the next week they just crumble.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually the constant ones are definitely Liverpool and City. Those two are
Yeah, but
really
even
the
Liverpool's
title
not
holders
having a
and
great
title
start as well.
contenders. But in terms of squad depth, and I would say, yeah, squad depth and flexibility in the players, definitely Liverpool and City has the advantage.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, so we're gonna start our predictions. As I've mentioned to you guys to get some thinkings in mind of who do you guys want to place, because we're gonna try our best to review this by the end of the season next year. So if we can still remember to do it, but I will try my best to remember for all of us. So I'm gonna start first. We're gonna go and start to predict the bottom three, the three teams to relegate this season. So yes, as of now, we're recording 5 matches have been played. Apologize to people who are listening or watching that we could have done this sooner or earlier, but we have a lot of things going on that doesn't hit well in terms of schedule wise. So it is what it is, but it's still early. There's still 33 more games to go. Anything can happen, really. So my first three, I'm just gonna say real quick, will be Everton, Bournemouth, and Brentford. I know it might be a little bit of a shock for Brentford wise. It's a bit of a stretch if you ask me. But I just feel like Brentford's gonna be one of those teams where they do so well like last season, at the start, then slightly fall off, and then instead last season they kind of zoom through again towards the end. But this time I think it's gonna take a toll for some reason. Everton, I don't know why. I just feel like Frank Lampard isn't really the right person to lead this Everton team. I don't know why. He's good with the youths, but with the ready-made players, I don't know. They lost Richarlison. They are relying on youths more. It's not looking too well for them. And Bournemouth, well, we've seen what happened. 9-0, Scott Parker sacked in 4 games, new manager come in. It's not looking too good for them. So gonna go to Mr. JB. Who's your 3 relegated team?
Well, for me, I think the 3. Well, I mean, again, it's too early, but I mean that's why this kind of prediction is called for fun.
Yeah.
So let's check it out. For me, I would say Aston Villa if they don't get rid of Gerrard.
Ooh.
Yep. I mean, they definitely doesn't look at all good. Forest for signing 21 players.
You know what? Yeah, I was tempted to pick Nottingham Forest, but it was so ambitious in buying 22, 23 players as of today.
Yep. Yeah. So
It would be crazy with that amount of spend and they go down back. I know it feels kind of like those QPR kind of season. We remember that.
mhm.
But
Yep.
I don't know. I just like to keep a hope for Nottingham Forest because it's been a long time,
Nah, for me it's Aston Villa, Bournemouth, and Nottingham Forest. That's for sure.
Nice. Okay, I think Bournemouth is pretty much a common reason probably with me, right? And you can agree with me on that.
Yep.
But Aston Villa is a bit of a stretch if you ask me. Like, is it really that bad under Steven Gerrard to you?
Initially last season is not, but after that they tried to get some good signings in.
They do.
I think they managed
They
to.
do have decent.
Yeah,
Secure Kuti.
yeah, exactly. And then I think they managed to successfully stop another transfer from going out. I think they have a Brazilian player.
Yeah.
I think that I believe one of the
Gabriel
clubs
Luiz,
want to. Yeah, exactly. One of the
the
clubs
guy who score
try to buy.
corners like for fun.
Yep. And then they managed to stop that and keep him in the club. So I don't know. I mean, it's quite mixed bag, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Aston Villa, if things doesn't change in the next 1-2 weeks, I think likely they might be. But I mean, let's not forget, at least they're not last like Leicester. So who knows?
Yeah, true. I mean, to be honest, I am tempted to pick Leicester as well to be relegated after seeing the first 5, but at the same time, like they have the players. Yes, they lost Wesley Fofana, which is big, to Chelsea as well. And they have not signed any players really. And Jamie Vardy is getting old. He's never gonna be prolific again. So who do they have? Like they have James Madison, yes. They sold their keeper Kasper Schmeichel. You know what? I might throw Leicester in ahead as well, really. But yeah, Hakim, over to you. Give me your 3 relegated teams and a simple reason of why.
Well, actually, it's almost the same as JB. It's really Leicester, Bournemouth, and Nottingham Forest.
Wow. Mr. JB say Aston Villa actually.
Except for Aston Villa, mine is Leicester.
Okay. So similar reason for the same 2 with Mr. JB, the Nottingham Forest and
Bournemouth.
Like, what's your
Yeah.
reason? Is it the same or what's your take?
Like you say, Nottingham Forest, they are new players. Bournemouth just isn't Premier League level.
Ooh.
And
I'm sorry to all the
being
Bournemouth
realistic,
fans, but
they go up and down. And well, for Leicester, unless they have a miraculous turn of event, Jamie Vardy gets his record-breaking form back again, they have a rough road ahead of them.
yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. Definitely for Leicester. All right, so we're gonna move up to the table. which is normally we'll do like the top 6, but because now we have the conference league, so we're gonna include 7. So how I'm gonna do this, the next 3 teams that we're gonna predict will be 7, 6, and 5th. So teams that are in Europa League, the conference league. All right. So my my 5th, 6th, and 7th might be controversial. Okay, hear me out. Might be controversial, but 5th, I'm going to say Man United. 6, it's gonna be Chelsea. 7 is gonna be Newcastle. So here's my take. Again, I actually make this prediction by myself before the season starts. For some reason, I feel Chelsea is gonna struggle a bit this season. I have no idea why. It's just one of those Chelsea inconsistent season where they have one good season that they can fight for the title, and the other season they will just drop. And I just, for some reason, feel this season might be their drop. But 6 is considered not the worst, because personally, last time I remember Chelsea dropped to 9 or 10 under Mourinho before, or Conte, I can't remember. But yeah, is that one of the season that they dropped really bad. But I just feel that they are good enough to be 6. Man United, I put 5th. Why? Yes, despite their struggling start, but the new signings and Ten Hag type of play, I can see a little bit. I can see what they're trying to do. They just need the right tools, which is stop putting Fred and McTominay, and they should be fine, really. As long as they put Fred and McTominay and Harry Maguire, things doesn't go well. I'm sure Mr. JB will agree with me on this. And
Yep, spot on.
and Newcastle, well, they signed Alexander Isaac, which is one of my favorite young prospect for the future. And here's one thing I like about Newcastle. They don't sign players like splash the cash in terms of like extravagant kind of players. These players are actual tactical choices by Eddie Howe. And I believe if they make their home as a fortress, they are definitely going to be a tough place to visit. And they can definitely get a lot of points, and they can start going back to Europe by being in the conference league. So that's my take. So this time I'm going to go to Hakim. Give me your 5th, 6th, 7th.
Let's see. Oh, very, very tough. I would say 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay, this might be controversial. 7th, currently, I would put as Leeds.
7 Leeds. All right.
Yeah. Potential underdog.
It is. Yeah.
6, I would say maybe 6 Chelsea.
6
5th
Chelsea.
United. Yes, 6 Chelsea, 5th United.
Oh, wow. So you have the same 5th as 6 as me, but except for Leeds and Newcastle. So, okay, as a Chelsea fan, then why would you say that your team will end 6?
Chelsea will try out and do everything the best that they can, but they'll slowly start to go out of competitions one at a time, and soon they will not be able to salvage a very good position in the Premier League.
Okay, and you believe Man United will end above you guys, Chelsea on top?
It's possible.
It's
in terms of their purchases, it's been very solid.
Yeah, true. Well, Mr. JB, what did you make of it? He put you guys on top of Chelsea.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I'm surprised that both of you actually said United to still get an European, to still finish in a Europa League spot. But
Well,
I
give me your
guess
5th, 6th,
everyone has
7th.
the
Where
choices.
would you put Man United then?
Well, that'll be quite interesting. But yeah, my 5th, 6th, 7th will be slightly more colorful.
Okay.
Yeah, my 5th would be Chelsea.
Okay. Chelsea.
Yep. 6 would be Liverpool.
Liverpool 6.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This season they're going down. I mean, I've read again some theories is pretty cool. Like they say the Klopp 7-season curse might begin.
7
because
season curse. Is that even a thing?
Yeah. That is the thing. I mean, if I'm not wrong, he flunked back then when he was with Dortmund, and then he got sacked on the seventh season with
Ooh.
Dortmund, and that's when he joined Liverpool. And then I think before Dortmund, I think he was managing some other team as well. And I think seventh season, some wrong, uh, some wrong happened again. So
Yeah.
yep. So it's gonna be quite interesting. Yeah. So I'm gonna put fifth Chelsea, sixth Liverpool, and seven is the one that I'm a little bit torn between these two. These two is like one of my favorite teams. Uh, surprisingly, it's not Newcastle, although I would love to put him in there. But my number seven is either between Brighton or Fulham.
Brighton or
I mean,
Fulham?
so far the past 5 games, I've been impressed by these two. If you ask me to really make a choice, I think I'll put Brighton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be even better. You know what? Scratch that. Fifth will be Chelsea, sixth will be Brighton, and seven will be Liverpool.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. I'm
There's
locking
a
that in
goal.
right now.
That is a very
Liverpool.
bold prediction.
Yeah, you saying Brighton finished sixth.
Yeah, why not? I mean, like I
I
said,
mean, crazier things happen in football, but that much, I wish you have that much faith on on your team, like how you did for Brighton, really.
no, I mean, think about it. I mean, Brighton. I mean, I forget who's the Brighton manager's name, but
Graham Potter.
yeah, exactly. Graham Potter, I think, is the most underrated manager at the moment right now. Okay, people don't give enough credit to him, and that is
True,
like,
that's true. I mean,
eh,
the
yeah.
players they
I
have
mean,
is very underrated as well.
exactly, and you feel for the guy. He wanted to keep Cucurella, he wanted
Yeah.
to, but it is what it is. Football is all business right now.
True.
You gotta let go who you gotta let go, and I mean, he still has to work with his players, and I believe that he's already with Brighton for quite a long time, so he knows his players pretty well at this stage. And recently, I think they just won, I think, Leeds
Yeah,
and the likes.
they
Yeah,
won
and
Fulham
and
as
I
well. They won Leeds as well.
yes, that's right. And I heard, I think they also sell off Mupe, is it? Did they sell Mupe?
I'm not sure whether they loan or sell, but I know he's definitely not in the team. But even
Yep,
if he is, it's
exactly.
definitely not going to be used.
Yes, but I mean, but their usual crop of players, their main ones like Luis Dunk, Gross,
Yeah,
Leandro Trossard, Danny Welbeck, surprisingly doing very, very well, especially the game
yeah,
against United.
yeah.
And also their keeper has been fantastic lately, Robert Sanchez.
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, so you see,
I
I
mean,
mean, they
it
have
really
the
is
foundation.
props to them. It really is props to them because they lost Cucurella, they lost Bissouma, they lost
Yes,
crucial players in key
yep,
areas, and
that's right, that's right.
and they managed to still maintain that. And yes, it's still early in the season; anything can happen. But credit where is due. I think Graham Potter is doing well currently in Brighton.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He is. Yep. So that's why I'm locking in there. So my fifth would be Chelsea, six would be Brighton,
Brighton.
seven would be Liverpool, right there.
Wow.
Because of Club 7 season, we put them on number seven, right there.
All right. Fair play. So now we're gonna straight away jump into the top four. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, okay? Man City is gonna win this damn title again.
Oh, come on, come
I
on,
mean, come on, man.
come on.
We're talking about Erling Haaland, who has scored 9 goals in
Really,
5 games. Like, I'm not even gonna
really.
waste time anymore. Like, Man City is gonna win the title. All right.
Oh,
Man City is
why?
gonna be first.
Why
Uh,
would you want them to do a? Why would you want them to do a turkey? Huh? Why would you want them to do,
I
a
mean, it's not that
turkey?
I won, but they're looking mad at the moment right now with Erling Haaland, right? And
Right.
initially, I might say they might struggle a bit if they sell Bernardo Silva. There was at one point Bernardo Silva wanted to leave, and I believe he's one of those key players in Man
Yep.
City. Next to De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva is
Yes.
definitely up there.
That's
But
right. That's right. I agree.
he stayed and he helped to assist Haaland over and over and over. And this is not gonna stop. So I feel like Man City is still gonna win the league. Second, I'm going to say Liverpool. Yes, I know people talk about this 7-year curse, whatever it is, but I still believe Liverpool still have what it takes. But I'm not saying like it's a close battle. Sadly, it's gonna be a landslide Man City win. Man City first, Liverpool second, Arsenal to be third, and Spurs to be fourth. That's my take. As an Arsenal fan, yes, I know we're as of recording, we're 5-5. We should be riding high at the moment. But me as Arsenal fan, no offense, getting top four is all that we want, is all that we need. So that we can build. Because our team, yes, we have the solid lineup, but do we have the depth? Do we have the rotation? I don't think so. Why? We now lost Thomas Partey to injured. El Neni now is injured. We only have Granit Xhaka and Sambi Lokonga as our midfield. And that's why Arteta was so struggling to find midfield center by trying to buy Tielemans, Douglas Luiz, and etc., which we failed. So at some point of time, somehow with the World Cup coming in, a lot of heavy rotation in the squad. I believe Arsenal depth definitely need more improvement in the substitute wise. You know, as much, and I'm so afraid if Gabriel Jesus got injured, it will be the death of Arsenal at this point. But at the moment, yeah, that's how I rank. Mr. JB, to you, top four, real quick.
Plain and simple for me. Some people might call it bias, but I think United will finish top this
Oh, Man
season under
United.
10 Hag's first season. Exactly. But don't worry. I have my explanation.
Okay.
Second will be Arsenal. We're both gonna share the same points, but I think United will edge out in goal difference for some reason.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then third will be Man City. I mean, again, people will question and go like, "How dare you?" You know, there's Haaland and all. But hey, I mean, you can't win it all. But I do want them to win the Champions League. I really hope they do. With Haaland, I think they should. If they don't, then I don't know what else to say. So I'll give them third, but they'll probably win the Champions League. And fourth will be good old Spurs,
Yeah.
because I mean, I feel for Conte. You know, he did. I mean, you can tell he's a passionate guy. So, and with the signings and everything like that, and you know, now Kane is slowly finding form, but Son isn't doing too well. But
He's falling off a
I
little
believe,
bit.
yep. But I think you know, over time, I think they might do good. But still, I think
Right.
fourth for Spurs.
I'm not even gonna ask about why you put Arsenal second or Man City third. I just want to ask why you put Man United first. That's all I want to know.
Well, I mean, you know, it is plain and simple. Ten Hag is the man for us. Number one. Number two, we got the best Brazilian midfielder partnership right now. We got Fred Casemiro.
Uh,
All right.
true.
All right. On top of that,
Casemiro,
yep.
Anthony.
On top of that, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, we have Eriksen. You know, we have Eriksen. And let's not forget we have Cristiano Ronaldo, Anthony, Sancho. I mean, come on, man.
Your
Come
team
on. We've
really stacked. And if Ten Hag doesn't get the
and,
best out of them, I don't know who else would.
but I'm still scared of saying it right now, because our teams have been stacked for the past few seasons and the result has been the same, or in fact worse.
True.
I mean, look at PSG though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
Team
But
stack,
I mean,
built to win Champions League year after year.
well, PSG is in a farmers league, so let's not talk about that. again.
Farmers League. All right, Hakim, over to you. Give me your top four.
Actually, the same as you. You know, City to win, Liverpool second, might be a close fight. Third, Arsenal and Spurs for fourth.
Wow. Okay. All right. But what's your reason for putting Man City first? Then?
I mean, City is just City. You know, they still have the squad depth. They have the experience. They deserve to be title winners again. You know.
Yeah, I mean they really go all out. You know, they went all out to get the manager Pep. They went all out to get players all around. Like
You look at all of their first 11. You know, that is a solid first 11.
that is scary. I can tell you right now, Man City substitute will be able to join in our first 11 right now, and they can still bench Gundogan or Rodri, or you know, you have that kind of bench, strong bench to be in.
Yeah.
Riyad Mahrez is like in and out of bench, when easily he could have been one of our main wingers in our first 11. He's like enough said, you know. So yeah, I guess it's totally understandable. But I'm surprised that you also put Liverpool second as well, kind of like me. But is it one of those because of Klopp
It's
effects?
Liverpool. It's more of like, no, it's Liverpool. Yes, they will choke here and there, but they are still very strong contenders, you know, for second and third place. But I do see them edging out a bit higher than Arsenal.
Yeah, true. I mean, they definitely have the squad depth as well.
Yes, definitely. Salah needs to. It all depends whether Salah finds his form also.
Yep, Salam. I mean, man, the fact that I put triple captain and 9-0, he was not involved. Till this day, I'm pissed. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, like what you say is true. If Salah finds his form, Liverpool can
With
be fighting for the title.
Jota, Firmino,
Yeah, true.
they have to find back their form.
I
if
mean,
they really
Luis
want to-
Diaz and their new signing Darwin Nunes. Sure, he may have a red card, but still, he's a young signing that is forced to be reckoned with, really.
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah, personally, I think they can definitely catch up. All right. So with that being said, this is our part one. So for those Spotify listeners, of course, you can definitely continue to listen to our podcast. We're gonna bring our guest to the second part of this, which is the quiz. As our podcast, we usually have the quiz. So do stick around and check us out as Mr. JB takes on the first ever Hakim to join our podcast quiz. So do stick around. And we'll see you guys later.